are going. So we're in New Jersey, and we're going to Storybook.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
So we've been in New Jersey for a day now, and then so we're going back home
On Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday. And we have to wake up at like 3 in the morning.
And our dad been to Storybook Land, but when he was 5 years old.
Yeah. So our dad's not gonna be with us because he has to spend time with his brother. Because we barely get to see our family down in New Jersey because we live in another state. So yeah. We'll see you when we get to one of these. Come on. Let's go. Let's we have to go one of these ways. I'm gonna go no, that's a dead end.
Ah! We tried!
So we have to go this way. Dead end. Go this way. We're back almost where we started.
This way? We're done!
We did it! Woo!
Hi guys, so today we're going to the city.
We're going in Philadelphia, and we're gonna see like Libertyville and stuff.
Yeah, and we're going to see Ben Franklin's grave. Bye. Let's see.
Little girls on the train. I don't want this little girl no more.
Go all the way down.
I'm a fool for the city. Fool for the city.
Train now.
The train
It's Kendall's first time. Kendall, are you excited?
Yeah, they got quite a few Atlantic cities coming up.
My advisor, especially the VA.
We're going and going and going.
They'll do financial support.
We're going! Today!
They know the best.
The Delaware River.
Mommy, look. There's a little stick thingy right there. Looks like a stick ball.
Aunque la inscripción de la campana está escrita en inglés, sus palabras
Here, built into the bricks. Original street marker reads Sassafras Street. But you see our street sign today? We're on Race Street. William Penn is the forefather of urban planning. His is originally a 1,200-acre plot, 2.5 square miles, huge rectangular grid system. Streets running north-south are numbered, east-west of things in nature. Down to your right is why it is always sunny in Philadelphia. That's Patty's Pub. That's the inspiration for the television show It's Always Sunny. Not too much film there. Side entrance and the credits to the show. You're a fan, aren't you? You know the episode where Frank steals a boat? You know this one? They used our Big Bus base in that episode. It's right on the Schuylkill River. Ahead of us, this is our first view of our Benjamin Franklin Bridge. That name pops up once or twice along the tour. All right, William Penn founded the city of Philadelphia. Benjamin Franklin nurtured it. We'll see his influence. And guys, right now we're in Old City, and it is called Old City because it is old. Ahead of us, on your left, where these flags are flying, brick building, this is Fireman's Hall Museum today. But This is the site of the very first volunteer fire department. It's a Union Fire Company founded in 1736 by Benjamin Franklin. Old City, coming up next is Alfred's Alley. Be here on your left. Alfred's Alley is the oldest continuously occupied residential street in America since 1702. 2-story houses on the right predate the Revolution. 3 stories on the left, post-Revolution. If any of you are in the housing market right now, you can grab one of those on Alfred's Alley for about $700,000. Widest across is 16 feet, thinnest is 12. People are still living down there right now, and as you see, you guys can come and torment them, all right? Up and down the street all day. A few of them have been converted into museums. Through the light, ahead of us here on your right, blue sign. Grossman Furniture Building today. This is originally a boarding house. Man by the name of Edgar Allan Poe. He stayed right here. Poe, he lived there with his wife and his cousin. They were the same person. Now, speaking of marriage, guys, we're coming up on the Betsy Ross house. Now, you know her. But what you might not know about Betsy is that she outlived 3 husbands. Her first husband died, poisonous mushrooms. It was sad. Her second husband died, poisonous mushrooms. It was suspicious. Her third husband died by a brick to the back of the head. You wouldn't eat the poisonous mushrooms. On your right, this is the Betsy Ross house. All right, now Betsy, of course, you know her. She is the seamstress of America. She's credited with sewing the first American flag. Now, whether or not she did that is up for debate, but what we do know is that Betsy sewed flags for the American government. We have receipts to prove that much. We also know Betsy knew the right people. And she went to church with George Washington. George Washington originally wanted a 6-pointed star on the American flag for no particular reason. Betsy wasn't having it. She showed George that she can make a 5-pointed star with one single cut. That's how it goes. And she does rest there with her third husband, John Claypole. And so that poisonous mushrooms thing, not so much. But she did outlive 3 husbands. We're coming up on the Arch Street Quaker Meeting House. Through the light here, behind this brick wall on your left, it's the oldest in the city that's still active since 1804. Largest in the country. It's built on a burial ground. Over 20,000 bodies buried right there. Plots run 4 and 5 feet, no headstones. Quakers are a modest people. Quick swivel to the right here. This bust of Benjamin Franklin, it's called Keys to the Community. It's originally made out of pennies donated by Philadelphia school children. 1,000 keys later added. And the reason that Ben sits right here, this Engine 8, this is the descendant fire department of Ben Franklin's Bucket Brigade, Union Fire Company. If we do return to the Quakers on your left, you guys notice they call each other friends. They are a society, and that is a meeting house. When the Quakers would meet to worship, they would sit in silent contemplation for 4 hours, seeking the divine within. No religious adornment, no clergy. They would speak if they were moved by the Holy Spirit. That plays a role later on in the tour, so remember that one. 4 hours, silent contemplation. Coming up, stop 3, U.S. Mint. Christ Church Burial Ground, behind the brick wall here on your left. There's about 4,000 buried in here, most notably the first American, Ben Franklin, behind the green gates here on your left. Take a close look at Ben's grave. You see all those pennies strewn about. So that's a Philadelphia tradition, to throw your pennies on Ben's grave. If it lands heads up, then you are in for a year of good luck. And if it doesn't, you guys, you just keep trying. Christ Church Burial. It's dedicated solely to celebrating, studying, understanding our U.S. Constitution. They say if you visit, it will teach you what it means to be an American. It'll teach you the role the Constitution still plays in your lives today. Only thing missing from the Constitution Center is the actual Constitution. It's in the National Archives in D.C. But how about these radical Quakers? When William Penn lays out his frame of government for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in 1681, he includes trial by jury, freedom from unjust imprisonment, freedom of religion. One of the first governments truly accountable to the people, and those are all core principles, including our nation's founding text over 100 years later. He goes to die, and they have an exhibit in there right now. It's free to get in. It's called Money in Motion. We'll give you $100 just for going. Money's all shredded. Through the light to your right is our African American Museum. First of its kind in the country. The bells that you see out front are called the 13 Whispering Bells. They have no clappers, made to represent the silent struggle of African Americans in colonial times. Police headquarters, the Roundhouse. From an aerial view, the Roundhouse looks like a set of locked handcuffs. Running tour guide joke. Said it looks more like a cup of coffee. Welcome you to our Chinatown. Currently 5th largest in the nation. Our Chinatown begins 1840s as a laundry district. Young men come over seeking financial opportunity. However, Chinese Exclusion Act of 1880 today, from the top of the bus, cameras on the ready here right now. I tell people this, and you don't take me at my word, and I watch them fumble about with their phones. When we go through our light here, it's going to be on your right. Have you guys seen the Liberty Bell yet? Feel you? Were you underwhelmed? Sometimes it's smaller than people think it might be. All right? In 1984, we did a cultural exchange with our sister city in China, Shenzhen. We gave them a replica of the Liberty Bell. This is what they gave us. Coming up on your right, it is the first traditional freestanding Chinese friendship gate to go up outside of China. What that means, on that structure right there, there are no nuts, screws, nails, bolts, adhesive of any kind. It's a self-supporting structure, like a giant jigsaw puzzle. And for those of you guys that saw the Liberty Bell, you would agree we got the better end of the deal on that one. 2008, they reached $500 million. Renovated in 2011, and it cost them $700 million. So what we have here, this is a $1.2 billion building of taxpayer money, largest and most expensive in the state. The convention center is capable of holding 17 American football fields floor space. Now this guy knows, I'm gonna let you know. Just to put it into perspective, that's about 17 times larger than the size of the football field we just beat the Patriots on. It's big. The bridge that we just passed underneath connects the convention center up top on the left to what is now its grand ballroom. That's the original Reading Terminal rail shed. Between 1893 until 1984, trains are actively running in and out. That's when the last train leaves, falls into disuse, it's repurposed into the grand ballroom of the convention center. Largest ballroom on the East Coast. Original parts of the Reading Railroad up there. You guys keep that name in mind. As we continue the tour, we're going to see a theme.
Artwork thing.
Gus Rodin by name. Think about it. You know this one right here. On your right, one of 5 original castings of the Thinker. Now, as we pass the Thinker here, guys, go ahead and check out the black gates at the main building there. Those gates are called the Gates of Hell, and these are originally part of the same piece. They're inspired by Dante Alighieri's epic poem, The Divine Comedy. The Thinker is originally supposed to sit atop the gates. Some say it's Dante contemplating mortality, others say Rodin contemplating his walls. It opens in 1829. They put their system in place 1829. By the 1850s, what they discovered is that 23